Okay, so we are going to start the Algebra 1, Unit 4, Linear Equations and Inequalities review. This is the CA review. This packet is due on your next class, and let's start going through it step by step. So, number 1. It asks, what value of x makes the equation negative 5x minus parentheses negative 7 minus 4x equals negative 2 times parentheses 3x minus 4 and the parentheses is true. So essentially all it's saying is solve for x. Solve for x. So the first thing we do is distribute. We're going to get rid of the parentheses. So we start off with negative 5x, and negative times a negative is a positive 7, and negative times a negative is a positive 4x equals, then I'm going to distribute the negative 2. I get negative 6x, and negative times a negative is a positive 8. At this point, we are still working on one side of the equal sign, so we're going to combine our like terms. My like terms include 5x and 4x. When I combine them, I get negative 1x plus 7 equals negative 6x plus 8. Now, I have combined all my like terms, so I need to get my variables on one side of the equal sign, my numbers on the other side of the equal sign. So my first thing I'll do is add 6x to both sides. When I do that, I get 5x, it's a positive 5x, plus 7 equals, this cancels out to 0, 8. I'm running out of room, so I'm going to come over here. I get 5x plus 7 equals 8. I've just moved that up to here. Now I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides, and I get 5x equals 1. Then I'm going to divide by 5, and I get x equals 1/5. So my answer is D. Next question. What is the solution to 0.3 times 12x minus 16 equals 0.4 times 12 minus 3x? Again, all it's asking is solve for x. So to start off, we will do multiply 0.3 times 12, and that's going to get us 3.6x minus 0.3 times 16 is going to get us 4.8 equal 0.4 times 12 is going to get us 4.8 minus 0.4 times 3x is going to give us 1.2x. So I need to get my numbers on one side, my variables on the other. I'm going to add 1.2x to both sides. This is no different than if we didn't have a decimal point. So we're just going to go ahead and keep the decimal point as is. When we add these, I get 4.8x minus 4.8 equals 4.8. I'm going to start looking at thinking, oh, no solution, all solution. There is no solution. We're going to work it all the way to the end. Then we're going to add 4.8 to both sides. And I'm going to get 4.8x, these cancel each other out, equals 9.6. I'm going to come over here. 4.8x equals 9.6. I'm going to divide both sides by 4.8. And I'm going to get x equals 2. So my answer choice would be C. Moving on. Which inequality describes all the solutions to 5 times 3 minus x less than negative 2x plus 6? When it talks about all the solutions, it's just asking for an inequality. So we're going to do just solve it for x, just like we would in any other situation. I'm going to distribute 5 times 3 is 15 minus 5x less than negative 2x plus 6. I have nothing to distribute on this side of the equation. Now I just need to move my x's to one side and my numbers to the other. I'm going to, I like to keep it positive, so I'm going to do plus 5x plus 5x. That way my x is not negative. I get 15 on this side. These two cancel out. I get 3x plus 6. I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. I get 9 less than 3x. And when I divide by 3, I'm going to get x greater than 3. I can change that to x as long as the greater than stays facing x the same way. Either of those are correct answers. I just need to make sure that in here the wide side of the greater than is facing the x. The wide side of the greater than is facing the x. So I come over here, I look at my answer choices, and I notice that B is the correct answer. Okay, so number 4. The perimeter of a rectangle can be represented by 2 times 2x plus 20 inches. The length of the rectangle can be represented by 2x plus 14, and the width can be represented by 4x minus 10. What are the dimensions of this rectangle? It says in centimeters, but it asks in inches, so I just crossed that out. So to start off, we know that the perimeter is 2 times 2x plus 20. We know that the length is 2x plus 14. The width is 4x minus 10. We also are told, because we have a formula chart, you don't need to remember this, but the perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Okay? So that all out of the way, if I have my rectangle, I need to look at it this way. The length is 2x plus 14. The width is 4x minus 10. So I can plug in to my formula here. P equals, I can plug in 2 times 2x plus 20 equals 2 times, I plug in for L, 2x plus 14 plus 2, I can plug in for W, for x minus 10. So I'm basically just taking all my information and plugging it into this formula. And then now, since I only have x's, I can very easily just distribute, use my combine like terms, and use my inverse operations to solve this. So I get 4x plus 40 equals 4x plus 28 plus 8x minus 20. So from there, I don't have any like terms. This is as simple as I can get this for right now. Over here, I've got 4x and 8x are like terms, and 28 and 20 are like terms. So when I combine my x's, all I need to do is combine them the way that they say. I don't need to do anything else other than just add them together. 12x and positive 28 minus 20 is going to give me 8. So I get 4x plus 40 on that side. Now this is as simple as it can go, so I can start using my inverse operations to move and balance my equation. I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. I get 40 equals 8x plus 8. Going to subtract 8. I get 32 equals 8x, x equals 4. It does not ask for me to solve for x. What it's asking for me is to solve for the length and the width. So I need to plug my x back in to these equations to solve for my length and my width. My length is 2x plus 14. I'm going to throw my x in there, so I get 2 times 4 plus 14, and I get 8 plus 14. The length equals 22. Then to solve for my width, I know my width equals 4x minus 10. I'm going to throw in my x again. 4 times 4 is my x, minus 10. I get 16 minus 10. W equals 6. So now I look up here and I notice that the length is 22 here, but the width is 12. I think that's a typo, so I'm going to answer B. This should be 6. Alright, moving on. Which inequality describes all the solutions to negative 22 minus k greater than or equal to negative 7 times 8 plus 5k? Basically, all that's asking me is to solve for k. So I'm going to, on this side, there's nothing else I can do. Over here, I need to distribute. So negative 56 minus 35k. This I just bring straight down. I haven't changed anything at all to this side. Now I need to start moving my numbers around. So I'm going to add 35k to the other side. And the reason why I'm adding it is because if I can figure out a way to keep my k positive, I like to do that, especially with my inequalities, because I know when I divide by a negative, I'm going to have to flip it. So if I can keep my k positive, I like to do that. Negative 22, negative k plus 35k is going to give me a positive 34k greater than or equal to negative 56. Then I'm going to add 22 to both sides, and I get 34k greater than or equal to negative 56 plus 22 is 34. So now I divide by 34, and I get k is greater than or equal to -1. So when I flip my page and look at my answer choices, I notice that there are actually the answer choice D, k greater than or equal to -1. Just remember, if you divide by a negative, you're going to flip your sign the other way. Okay. Which inequality describes all the solutions to 16 or -16 minus 3x less than x minus 4 times x plus 4. So I've got -16 minus 3x less than x, and I'm going to distribute my -4 minus 4x minus 16. Now I have some terms over here that I need to combine. -16 minus 3x less than -3x, x minus 4x is -3, minus 16. Now I'm going to add 16 to both sides, and I get 0, -3x less than -3x. What is going on here? So I'm going to add 3x, add 3x. I get 0 here, less than 0. Can 0 ever be less than 0? No, 0 is equal to 0. It's not less than 0, so the answer is no solution. If this is a true equation, then you get all solutions. If it is an untrue statement, then the answer is no solutions. All right, last two. What value of x makes the equation this true? Basically, it's saying to solve. It should be r. So solve for r. I'm going to take my numbers here. I'm going to distribute -6r minus 15. When I distribute 3 times 2, I get -6. 3 times 5, I get -15 equals -15 minus 6r. So again, I'm going to add 15 to both sides. I get -6r equals -6r. I'm starting to see something, but I want to make sure I finish it to the end. If I add 6r, add 6r, I get 0 equals 0. Does 0 equal 0? Yes, it does. So this is all real numbers because this is a true statement. This is a not true statement. That's a true statement. All right, moving on. And, okay, what's the value of x makes this true? It should be n. So we have 8n. I'm going to distribute my 8 minus 32 minus, I'm going to distribute my 2n plus -10. I jumped the gun on that, equals 6n minus 1. I need to combine my like terms. I get 6n because I'm combining my 8n and my 2n to get 6n. Then I need to combine my 32 and my 10. This is a negative and a negative, so I'll get a negative 42 equals 6n minus 1. When I add 42, I get 6n equals 6n plus 41. I'm going to subtract 6n. And I get 0 over here, which equals 41. 0 here, 0 here. 0 will never equal. This is a not true statement. So no solution. Okay, that's it for now.